Hello children. In today's session, we'll discuss Chapter 1 Electric Charges and Fields Formula Part 2. So, in Part 1, we discussed till dipole. We'll continue from torque. So, torque tau is given as Pe sin theta, where theta is the angle between your P dipole moment and E electric field. The unit of torque is Newton meter. Next one, electric flux. Electric flux phi is equal to E vector dot S vector. It can be expanded as Es cos theta. The unit of electric flux is Newton meter square C power minus 1. Third one, according to Gauss theorem, the flux can be written as integral E vector dot ds vector, so which is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Fourth one, your flux density. Flux density equal to total flux divided by area, which is equal to 5E by S. Unit is Newton per coulomb. Next formula, electric field of a long straight wire of uniform linear charge density. This is based on your Gauss theorem application, E equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught R. So lambda is your linear charge density. Already we have discussed lambda equal to dq by dl. So electric field due to an infinite plane sheet of uniform surface charge density. So E equal to sigma by 2 epsilon. These are the results from Gauss theorem, applications of Gauss theorem. The next one, electric field due to two positively charged parallel plate with the charges with the charge densities sigma 1 and sigma 2. If if sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2 is greater than 0, both the plates are positive plates. So E can be written as plus or minus 1 by 2 epsilon naught sigma 1 plus sigma 2. This is outside the plates. E can be written as 1 by 2 epsilon naught sigma 1 minus sigma 2 inside the plates. The next formula, electric field of two equally and opposite charged parallel plates. So E will be equal to 0 outside the plate. E will be equal to sigma by epsilon naught inside. The next formula, electric field due to a thin spherical shell of charge density sigma and radius r. So I can write my electric field as Q by 4 pi epsilon naught small r square for r greater than capital R. Small r represent the distance between the source charge and the discharge, and capital R represent the radius of the spherical shell. And this is outside. We considered the test charge outside the shell. Division E will be electric field will be 0 if R is less than small r. That means inside the spherical shell. Finally, E will be equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R square if R equal to R. The test charge is located at the surface. Here, Q is nothing but 4 pi R square sigma. These are the results of the Gauss application related to the thin spherical shell. Last, the same thing. If you considered a solid sphere, so electric field for a solid sphere of uniform charge density, rho. It can be written as your electric field equal to the same way Q by 4 pi epsilon naught small r square for r greater than r. Electric field, this is actually outside the point, outside the shell. Electric field will be equal to Q small r divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. Since it is a solid sphere, definitely within the sphere you have lot of charges. So electric field will be there. In a hollow sphere, inside the shell, you won't have any charges. So flux is 0, electric field is 0. But in solid sphere, electric field will be QR by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. So here it is R less than R. So inside, you have placed your test charge within the sphere. That is why R is less than R. Finally, E equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught capital R square if R equal to R. And this is when the points are located on the surface. The test charge points are located on the surface. Again, Q will be 4 by 3 pi R cube rho. For electric field due to thin spherical shell and electric field due to thin solid sphere, you can see the first and third formula. That is, outside and on the surface, the formula remains the same. But the thing is, for a hollow sphere, electric field inside the shell will be 0. For a solid sphere, inside it will be QR by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube. Just make a note of these small things before solving the numericals. So total in chapter 1, we have totally 24 to 25 formulas. So in part 1 video, I have given you 14 formulas. In part 2, I have given you 10 formulas. Make sure you thorough these formulas before solving the numericals. Thorough the formulas with proper SI units. The numerical part will be more easy for you to do. Subscribe the channel for more videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.